Hi there, this is Jacob Nash, Algebra Lessons, and this is Unit 3, Lesson 6, on how to use factoring to find x-intercepts. You first need to know that x-intercepts have different names, so here's the names. There's x-intercepts. They're also called roots sometimes. They're also called zeros. They all mean the same thing, so don't get confused. So, in lessons 2 through 5, we looked at 4 different ways to factor, and in certain situations you would use some over others, and we looked at that. If you can divide by something, by all of them, then you use the greatest common factor one. If you can take the square root of the constant coefficient, use the difference of square roots one. If there's 3 different terms, one that doesn't have an x on it, then use product sum. If there is 3 terms, but the coefficient of the squared one is not 1, then you have to use a bottoms up factoring one. So we can use this to find roots. So how do we do this? Well, let's look at an example. We did expressions on those ones, but this time we can have an equation. So how about x squared minus x equals 12? How do we find the two x-intercepts of this quadratic? Well, first we need it to be 0 on one side of the equation, so we can subtract 12 on both sides, and we have x squared minus x equals 0. Forgot the 12. Minus 12 equals 0. Now we have to factor, just kind of ignore the equals 0 and factor. And in this case, we would use the product sum factoring one. In this case, remember, we find the things that can multiply to equal 12. And that would be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Which ones add to equal the coefficient of the second term? That is 1, even though you don't see it there, or negative 1 really. And so 3 and 4 could. And how? And remember, it still needs to be negative 12. So how could we do that? If we did negative 4, because 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So that's good. We'll do that. And there you go, that's done factoring, but we still have equals 0. How do we find the x-intercepts? Well, we have 2 different equations, and then you just solve to find out. And that means x would be negative 3 if we need to subtract 3 on both sides, and then on this one, add 4 on both sides. So we have that the x-intercepts are negative 3 and 4. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.